And we are here on our podcast, the Real-Time News. This is James Powell, your host, and we would like to welcome you today. Today I'm kind of doing a little bit of a diversion, and I've been doing some research, pulling up some articles about the real COVID numbers. We are in the midst of this COVID situation, and it truly is crazy. So what I am doing is I pulled up articles, and with these articles I am just going by the numbers that the medical community has presented. So I do want to thank you for joining us today. I also want to ask you to click our sponsors. If you would like to support us, the PayPal link is below. And we are going to hear from our sponsors. We have ads that we've made up in the middle of this, right before tech time. So please go to our sponsors' websites or contact them, and we'd appreciate that very much. So thank you for joining. Whether it's on live or replay, please share, tweet, Clouthub, Parlay, all the social media outlets. Please share. So let's go to the articles, and we will look forward to just bringing you some true news in real-time news. All right, we have the article here, and again, the liberals are always trying to tell you to look at the to the medical community. So let's look at the medical community, and this is what we are doing, looking at the medical community. One of the things that does happen when you look at the medical community, and let me just preface this: no matter what side of the equation you're on, you can find articles that will support what you want to say, because there are fringe articles on each side. So, all right, Medical Express, they are talking about, of course, I live here, many of you know I live here in Florida, and every time, you notice, I used to live up north, and you'd get the colds, and just in the wintertime, you just felt miserable getting the colds, and every time it warmed up, they would go away. Well, this is what this medical article is talking about. Sunlight, and of course this is from a couple months ago. Sunlight destroys coronavirus quickly, say U.S. scientists. The new coronavirus is quickly destroyed by sunlight, according to new research announced by a senior U.S. official. Through the study, it has not yet been made public and awaits external evaluation. William Bryan, the Science and Technology Advisor of the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, told reporters at the White House that government scientists have found ultraviolet rays had a potent impact on the pathogen, offering hope that its spread may ease over the summer. Well, let me just tell you a little bit about kind of let you know this. This has always been about politics. That's the bottom line. And now that states were starting to come out of their lockdown, now we're at the point they're locking back down. And I keep saying it. I keep saying it on all the recent podcasts. It originally started with the death count. When they started looking at the numbers, it was the death count. Well, now when that didn't play into their narrative, now they're trying to look at the case numbers. Of course, there's a lot more testing. Like in the last couple of days, it's over 100,000 per day in Florida. So with testing 100,000, no doubt they're going to find more cases. But the thing you need to look at is the death rate is going down because the death rate is staying the same or dropping a little bit. More cases are being found, so the percentage of the death rate is going down. And numbers don't lie. It's a logical mathematical equation. Okay, we've seen similar effect with both temperature and humidity as well. While increasing the temperature and humidity, or both, is generally less favorable to the virus. But the paper itself has not been released. Okay, it has long been known, and this is key. Remember, several months ago, Trump said in one of his press conferences on the coronavirus, he said, "Can you just put a light and kill it?" And people were kind of laughing. The reporters were laughing at him. But it has long been known the ultraviolet light has a sterilizing effect because the radiation damages the virus's genetic material and their ability to replicate. So, it makes sense. Hotter weather, the ultraviolet light kills the virus. So, something isn't quite right. It's hot here, and where are they saying? They keep talking of Florida and Texas. Well, let me give you a key. There were two conventions, GOP conventions, big GOP conventions going to take place in Texas and Florida. So this is all about politics. That is really what it's about. Okay, the next one. Now, I want to talk about some mask facts, and this is straight from the CDC, okay? And the reason why I'm talking about masks, they're really pushing this to be, wear the mask, protect yourself, protect others, wear the mask. Well, look at straight from the CDC. Okay, COVID-19, the particle is 0.125 micrometers. Of course, there's the logo, or the whatever you want to call it, 4 micrometers. Okay, influenza virus is 0.08 or 12.12 micrometers. A human hair is 150 micrometers. Okay, now let's just look at some of the numbers. Okay, here's objects and surfaces. This is how they say it transfers person to person touching. CDC's most recent statement says, based on data from lab studies on COVID-19 and what we know about similar respiratory diseases, it may be possible that a person can get COVID-19 by touching a surface or object that has the virus on it, and then touching their own mouth, nose, or possibly their eyes, the agency wrote. But, and this is what I want you to look at, but this isn't thought to be the main way the virus spreads. You see what they're doing? They talk about it, and then but this is not the main way the virus spreads. So, I said all that to say, now I want you to remember up here, 0.125 micrometers is the size of, like, a particle when you sneeze. That's the size of the particles that is coming out. Okay, so let's go down. Talk about the filter efficiency and fit, the masks. How good do the masks work? The HEPA filter does 99.97%. It's tested. The particles it filters out is 0.125. So you go up here. It looks like, yes, a HEPA filter, and you buy those HEPA filters for your AC or your furnace, that does filter it out. Again, this is directly from the CDC, their report. Okay, Masks and respirators work by collecting particles through several physical mechanisms, including small particles, interception, and impaction large particles. Okay, the N95, properly fitted, get this, 95% of tiny particles down to a 0.3 micro. 0.3. Whoa, wait a second, wait. The COVID is 0.125. That's much smaller. Look at this. But the N95 will only block as small as 0.3. So you that are talking about put the mask on, that's a political narrative. It does not even work. Okay, so that is what the CDC keeps talking about. Surgical masks aren't effective at blocking particles smaller than 100. So, okay, here's our filter efficiency. Okay, this is measured across a wide range of small particles of 0.2 to 1, and we're talking, this is 0.12. So the particles of when you sneeze with COVID is even smaller than what they're talking about. So N95 respirators, 95% greater, had efficiencies greater than 95%. T-shirts, 10%. And they're using a bigger particle than what the 1.1295. Okay? Scarves, 10 to 20%. Cloth masks, 10% to 30%. Sweatshirts, 20 to 40%. Towels, 40%. All of the cloth masks and materials had zero efficiency at 0.3. You get that? At 0.3, all the cloth mask and materials have near zero efficiency at 0.3, reminding you they're saying the COVID is at 0.125. That's smaller. So you that are saying that use the mask, it's a narrative, a political narrative. All right. That just irritates me. Okay, cases in the United States. Here again, you may have watched my podcast yesterday or listened to my podcast yesterday. Okay, the total deaths, total cases, over 3 million deaths. There's 312 new deaths as of today or yesterday. Let me go ahead and refresh this. Sorry. Today is the 14th. That's recording. Okay. 312 new deaths. Of course, we have several thousand deaths. But I just kind of wanted to show you that. I'm not going to go into the data. If you, maybe I can link my previous one, my podcast. I'll drop it in and give you some info about yesterday's. I may dig into that eventually again. So, all right. Now, let's jump in. Let me go ahead and that's about the mask. Okay? Now, we keep referring to the scientific community. The scientific community. Let me go back for the podcast. Those listening to the podcast, the total cases, 3,296,599. Total deaths, 134,884. So, there's a lot of new cases, but the deaths are not increasing as much as the new cases. Okay. Now, this next article, I got to remember I'm doing this for a podcast too, and you're not seeing it on the screen. Against Fauci's lockdowns, including a Nobel Prize winning biophysicist, the media just doesn't want you to know. Okay, this sister told you reported that the doubts President Trump recently expressed about the wisdom of Dr. Fauci's advice on COVID-19 have elicited a course of smug accusation from the usual suspects that he's ignoring the experts. Sister Tolja pointed out that it's hard to know what their complaint even means given how often Fauci and the other media anointed authorities have done total 180s. So basically what she's saying, okay, though the establishment media has somehow failed to make it widely known, in May, over 600 physicians from all specialties and from all states signed a public letter to President Trump describing not COVID-19 but the lockdowns as a mass casualty incident. Since the first letter appeared, the number of doctors signing on has grown into thousands. The letter warns, and here is the letter: it is impossible to overstate the short, medium, and long-term harm to people's health with a continued lockdown. Did you get that? Those are listening on the podcast. Basically, the doctors are saying do not do a lockdown. It will have hard long-term, short, medium, and long-term effects on people's health. Let alone the financial instability. So, folks, it's crazy. Okay, I need to take a break. Let's go ahead and take a break, and we will be right back, and I'll finish a couple articles. Then we'll go into the tech segment, and then the tech segment doing the tweets, Clouthub, and Parler. So I do thank you for listening, and we will be right back. Finding the right lawn service can always be challenging. You find those services that just try to make it through the day and really don't do what you want them to do. Well, I have great news for you. R.W. Peters Lawn Services in South Stuart, Florida and Hobe Sound can help you out. If you live around the Hobe Sound, South Stuart, Florida area, you can get your lawn service completed by R.W. Peters Lawn Services. You can go to their website, peterslawnservicesfl.com. You can even call them 740-710-2031. That's 740-710-2031. Email Brian at peterslawnservicesfl.com. Call them today. Trying to advertise in today's world is a very competitive thing. There are many advertising agencies that are saying that if you go with them, you will actually get your word out. Well, I would like to introduce to you a totally new and innovative way to advertise your message. It's called Flamin Hot Ads. That is Flamin Hot Ads, ADS. Flamin Hot Ads puts your business card size ad on a styrofoam carryout tray. In today's world, carryouts are a major part of any restaurant business. You can call them 833-ADS-TO-GO. That's ADS-TO-GO. 833-ADS-TO-GO. Call them to put your advertisement on a styrofoam carryout tray. Art is a thing of the past. I would like to introduce to you an artist that still does hand-drawn art. Don Meredith. Go to donmeredithart.com. That's DonMeredith.com. MEredithArt.com. Don Meredith does hand-drawn art. He will do whatever you need him to do. You can go to the website and you can see his art that he does. You can give him a call, 772-708-4060. Email finefunart@gmail.com. That's FINEFUNART@gmail.com. Or his website, Don, D-O-N, Meredith, MEREDITH, art.com. He looks forward to talking with you. Are you looking for real news with a real conservative perspective? I invite you to facebook.com/realtimenewstc. That's Realtime News TC of the Treasure Coast. My name is James Powell. I'm the host. I truly would like to invite you to join us. We'll see you on the next show. All right, and we are back, and we do thank you for joining us, and whether you're watching this on the replay or what, we do appreciate your joining us on our podcast. Of course, we are distributing our podcast not only on Facebook, but we are tweeting it. We are uploading it to our Anchor FM. It's in the description. Our Anchor FM podcast, we're uploading it to our YouTube channel, and we are shoving it to Clouthub, Parler, Twitter, and we are actually looking at trying to open up an account, a live video account for Clouthub. We're going to be following up on that, so hopefully we can get it out on more platforms. Also, I'm looking at distributing it on DLive and GodTube as video form and Daily Motion. So I'm really looking at just distributing it all over. And so basically what that will do is we are going to open up more for more advertisers. If you would like to support us, if you'd like to become a part of us, all I do is I do tech. I typically do tech and news, but with this COVID thing, I've really come back and doing a lot more about the COVID. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and jump. I've got two more articles, but I'm going to skip those, and we'll see if we have time to come back to them. I'm going to go ahead and jump to the tweets. I've started a segment of doing the president's tweets, so let me go ahead and we're going to go ahead and play this. And here's one of the tweets that President Trump did, and let me get this ready. Okay, and here we go. Let's listen.
The only way to deal with abuse of power is with power and labor. If that's raining outside, come on in, guys. I don't want anybody out there. Are you guys in the rain? Or is that not rain? I thought that was rain. It is? You guys can come on in. Don't stay out there.
So you that are watching can see I just played a video clip of Joe Biden, and Donald Trump says, "Is this what you want for president? With no ratings, media will go down with our great USA." I just played the clip of Joe Biden Here he is, all the reporters in their little circles, maybe 10 in the room, if maybe 15, and you heard the birds. Oh my, I love it. All right, okay, one of the latest tweets 10 hours ago. Let me find one. Trump, let me pull this up. For some reason it's not wanting to. He tweets, law and order. Yes, definitely. Team Trump, White House Press Secretary. Speaking of Kayleigh McEnany, has a great record, and she talks about Trump having a great record when it comes to LGBT. All right, this is why. Here's another tweet. This is why we have so many cases for the media to constantly refer to. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll play this, and then we'll go. I'll play a little bit of it, okay? And we're going to have to be ending this show. So,
how far along?
President, anything about the coronavirus and how it could help you get him 4 more years? What would you tell him?
Well, I think continue to pound on the leadership that he's shown during coronavirus. I think the American people don't recognize the amount of tests we're having every day, the fact that we aren't talking about needing PPE or ventilators, how far along we are. And I think he's doing absolutely the right thing, saying, let's get our kids back to school. Both of my kids go to public school. Let me tell you.
Okay, and that was Ronna McDaniel, the GOP chairwoman on Fox. So just letting you know, but basically we need to get back to work. All right, let's go ahead and switch to Clouthub. Please click in the link, follow me on Clouthub, and of course I live in the same county Dan Bongino does, and I really appreciate him. And oh yes, he just promoted me to a top fan on his page. Dan Bongino did. Thank you so much, Dan. I'm just a guy that's trying to report the news, but he just promoted me to a top fan on his page. Thank you so much, Dan. All right, Clouthub. Looks like according to AOC, this is all happening because people are hungry. And it's showing a picture, you for the podcast, it's showing pictures of the fires of NYPD cars, all the rioting in NYPD. But AOC says this is all happening because people are hungry. Really? Crazy. All right, now over at Parler. Again, follow me on Parler. The Bongino report. The Bongino report: steady 5.4 million Americans lost their health insurance due to coronavirus. That's crazy. That is nuts. This coronavirus has killed us all the way around. And it's been really bad. All right, my time is up. I'm sorry for going long on the news. We're going to end this day with the verse of the podcast with the verse of the day. 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. The thoughts on today's verse. While this is a passage often emphasized when talking about the problems with nations and governments, let's remember that the truest application of this must find its home in us and in our churches. We can begin revival in our land if we will commit to daily prayer, weekly fasting, and hearts yearning for God to enter our world and transform it. The prayer, O God, Father of all nations and peoples, please enter into our world with clear signs of your power and grace. Call the lost to you through us. Use us to be first fruits of renewal and restoration. In Jesus' name, amen. I do want to thank you again for being with us on our podcast and on our videos and Facebook. Please share, please like, please subscribe. We look forward to bringing you news frequently. We're not doing it every day, but we're trying to be more frequent. So thank you again for watching, and we will catch you on the next broadcast of real-time news.